Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and I wanted to really talk about psychic intelligence and wanted to talk about the pulse that I've been taking, about the collective, about what we're receiving, and how we're receiving the intuition as it presents itself to us. And understanding as it presents itself to us, it could be a reflection, it could be ringing in your ears. It could be the very fact that you're doing healing energy onto an animal when they enter your home. So it's just the ability to be of service in any way that you can, and using that psychic intelligence as a way of demonstrating love, wisdom, balance, and service. Meaning using your gift as a way of initiating different states of inclusion, excluding what doesn't need to be there, but including what does need to be there. So psychic intelligence comes in many different forms. It comes in clairvoyancy, it comes in clairaudience, it comes with the senses, it comes with feeling, it comes with receiving, but also comes with projection. So understanding what you're experiencing here and now is a revelation of what's being revealed to you, and seeing that you are working inside of a realm that's completely outside of your physical specimen. It means that you're omnipresent and simultaneous, but you are an energy that transcends all energy, meaning that it is your energy. It means it's your energy to use what you want with it. But it's seeing how you can fluctuate through the energies and really keep and maintain that heightened state of awareness. So it means that you are receiving the information at due time, so that somebody, somewhere in a different country on this live feed here and now is receiving God, is receiving spirit, but also receiving intuition and guidance. But also it allows them to see that we are the messengers and the prophets and the vision and the realization of what we're experiencing here and now as a way of coming into balance with our true nature and our divinity, but also the purity that comes with it. But it means the dedication that you have with it. It means just doing and applying yourself every single day, just a little bit every day, can really work wonders within your life. And you may not feel like you're doing a very big thing. And some of you are awakening everybody's galactic chakras and their own chakras and also their psychic abilities without having to physically be near them, without having to do stuff online. Some of you, without your knowledge when you are meditating, you are working so much in the astral planes and you're working so much in the non-physical that you're allowing everybody's subconscious to be more conscious with the self. So it's understanding that psychic intelligence and emotional intelligence and truth and resonance isn't just about saying that you do it or applying yourself this day or meditating this day and feeling good, and then the next week or two you feel kind of bad. But it means that the intelligence that comes to us comes into the form of a download. It's kind of like when you have a computer or something and you're transferring files. It's the same exact thing. It's as if you're downloading this file to that folder and you're placing it there so that it has its own vortex of creation. So meaning when we're receiving healing, what we're doing is that we're having metaphysical surgery. It means we're having a renewed heart or a new aura or a new signature that we're tapping into that we're not really familiar with. So spirit works in many different mysterious ways on how you receive. And some of you will receive energetic downloads for 2 hours straight, meaning that you will undergo a meditative state and see prophetic visions. You'll see visuals. You'll feel as if you are being reprogrammed in the ways of the divine. So this live is really for you to know that you're exactly on the right path. It means that you are doing all the things that you need to do, and it means that you just need to keep going. And it makes you feel better when you're able to be of service to other people, and it makes you feel better when you're able to use your gift. And it just feels really good to be able to meditate right in the morning. That's the most beautiful thing, is having gratitude and appreciation towards that, to have the ability to just meditate and tap into the morning and tap into the day and allow your energy and resonance and presence to be impactful in the way that it is an energetic transfer for other people. So we don't realize through our day-to-day practices or even living an ordinary life that it is something profound and deep and very multidimensional. So don't think that you're not special. Don't think that you're not divine, because you are divine. But living in this nature and living in this newfound consciousness and this newfound direction will allow you to see that it always gives you the most blessing. It is always the most blessed path, because you are able to purify where you're coming from instead of where you're going. So you see yourself in a much different light. You see yourself encompassed in a much different light. But also you see that psychic intelligence is day by day. It is time after time. It is an ongoing process. But allow yourself to process. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to emote if you need to. Allow yourself to develop your gifts, practice your gifts. Whatever it may be, and Spirit was really diligent with me when I was channeling this message, and also when I was thinking about what to say, is that all of us are here as a counterpart of Source, as an extension of Source, and everybody has a specific gift to give. And it is a gift that keeps on giving. It is the balancing of giving and receiving to brothers and sisters that are in arms. But it's also aligning to the prophecy that's been set before you and seeing that the prophecy is calling you. And when you answer your calling, you feel so much better, because you know that you're on a mission. You know that you have a job, you're employed by the divine in a sense. I know some of you might think that's silly, but it's true. You're employed by the divine employs you and implores you to stay steady, stay grounded, stay ready and aware of what's to come, because we are in many different ways in a revelation, in expansion, but also metaphysically and in the world we see that everything is really changing for the better. We see that it's changing because human beings are able to do things at light speeds in periods of acceleration and manifestation that they've never been able to do. Meaning that a lot of us have jobs like we do on social media. That was unheard of 30 years ago. And now when you're able to use your platform as a way of bringing people together and loving one another and loving each other, then you're able to inspire hope, inspire change, inspire people to be better than what they are right now, because they will see something inside of you that they don't see inside of themselves. And that's what's beautiful about living, about preserving our realities, about connecting in a very big way. So be able to connect whenever you feel led to connect. Feel as if you can be connected right now, even if you feel disconnected. Because the very moment when you change that narrative or change that paradigm, you're tapping into psychic intelligence. You're tapping into the autonomous knowledge that wants to channel from you, but also you realize that you have a psychic atomic energy, meaning that it has a non-dual nature of its own self, of its own resonance, of its own realization. And if you have that non-dual nature, then it will always breathe the expression and the preference and the frequency inside of you that wants you to know what to do with your giftings. But also the very fact that you call it something that is dignified and graceful and gifting it back, giving it back. So you're giving your life to God so that you're able to give it back and pay it forward in a sense. So we had to go through like the dark night of the soul, or you had to go through periods of integration, or you had to go through many different soul contracts and relationships. And so the overview of the spiritual journey touches on everything, whether we like to admit it or not. It touches every facet of the universe. And it also touches every facet of what we need to experience as like-minded hearts and souls. So no matter what you're experiencing, no matter how you're going about it, it means that you're on the right path, and you should just stay really steady and firm. And if you haven't really told yourself in a long time that you're proud of yourself, I think a lot of you should. Because if you don't take pride in what you do, if you don't feel proud of yourself, and it's not a smug pride, but it's a pride of emulation, like feeling as if you can appreciate the work that you have done thus far. So appreciate the time that you have, appreciate the ongoing progression, because all we're doing is we're really redesigning who we are, going up the ladder of ascension. And as we continue to go up that ladder, then we are parallel with everything. Then we are interconnected and interwoven with the timelines that we want to come into balance with. So now we feel connected to experiences, and we get to change our experiences with the very fact, with visualization, with intention, with really confirming our affirmations and living inside of our manifestations. So it's the ability to really change how you feel, but it's also the ability to change that you're not here to be empathic so that you go around and feel everybody else's energy and feel bad, but you're here to kind of bridge the gap and change the energy wherever you go. That's the point of it. So you bridge the gap and you change the energy where you enter inside of the room. So that's what you're doing, really. So you're being a force of your own nature, you're being a vortex, you're being a realm, a reality, a consciousness, a steady state of flow, of progression and emulation. So leading by example, we also have to make a lot of different sacrifices. We have to sacrifice all the things that present limitations towards us. And we do it willingly because we know that it makes us feel better when we do it. When we let go of soul contracts, or we let go of certain paradigms, certain people, certain places and things, and we feel like we have breached the gap, but also separated ourselves from an energetic cord. So when you do that in your life, and you see everything as an experience of connection, of deep, profound sense of realization, of empowerment, and you literally puncture an artery, you get to the bottom of something, you get to a resolution, you have this newfound realization of an answer, but the answer isn't necessarily what you were looking for. It was how you presented the question that led to the answer. So it kind of feels, when we tap into this psychic intelligence, we can feel the sense of knowing ourselves very deeply, very profoundly, and we give ourselves the permission to close our eyes so that we're able to look inside of our hearts. So when we close our eyes, nothing is left. Whatever was left is not there. It means that whatever was separated has become inseparability. And you completely have disassociated from what is connected. But the only connection is that Shekinah glory of God's source energy. That's it. That is the only connection that is there, that is bright, that is wondrous, and that illuminated you in that moment. So when you're illumined by the light, when you're illumined by consciousness itself, you will do many different things differently. When you're allowing yourself to become complete emulation and an ongoing progression of steady flow of happiness. Now, some of us think that happiness is a construct or a label or a concept or a depiction of something. So if you're trying to search for happiness outside of yourself, it's very difficult. That's why it's restricting. But you have to see it within. You have to see the transformation inside of yourself. And then when you do that, then your heart opens more and more widely, because you're able to see the overflowing abundance that presents itself to you, so that you're able to really align to the oneness. The oneness is really a sincere place. It's a truthful space, but it's a space where you just completely, utterly be yourself in that moment. Allow yourself to truthfully be yourself and be comfortable in your skin, and know that Source will use you in any type of way to bring about love, divinity, and service. So it's the ability to see yourself to see yourself for who you really are. So when we allow ourselves to really experience what we exactly want to experience in this moment, and to see ourselves really thrive in the progression of trusting our talents and changing times. And if you feel that unction and that authority and that pull to do what you need to do at any given time, that's you giving yourself to the psychic intelligence. It means that the intelligence is here, it is now, it is always present, it's all pervasive. It has no limitation, it's always been infinite and eternal before we even appeared into awareness. So we are eternals, my friends. We are waymakers, grid workers, people who are supposed to gather the will and the information, but also allow ourselves to channel the power within ourselves so that we can love even deeper, even more expanded, and love with a sincerity and a truth and a distinction that we've never even felt within ourselves. So sometimes it's just, if you have a word, just say a word. If you have healing, just give healing. If you have something to give, don't put it in a box. Don't hide away. If you have something to give, just give it. Now, I'm not saying to give toxically, because then that's not fair to you. But just give your life to God, and then everything will work itself out. And sometimes you won't understand it. Sometimes it'll be very mysterious. Sometimes it'll be overly complicated of how it presents itself to you. So it's the ability to see yourself She had her dog in my yard. Why do people do that? See, it's the universe letting me know something again. So it's like I could have said something to that lady, but I'm doing this. So if you're coming into the live feed, feel free to like and feel free to share. We're going to be doing a meditation to allow ourselves to tap into the psychic intelligence. And don't feel like you have to become a master in one sitting. Don't feel like you have to become who you're supposed to become in this moment. But just allow yourself to be a person that wants more out of its own spiritual journey. A person that wants to develop their gifts. A person that wants to experience the zest of life and the adventure of the journey. That's what is the most benefit of it, is learning. And even if you have the dark night of the soul or integration or dealing with negative stuff or feeling like you're lost, but you will always be found. In some way, shape, or form, you find yourself again and again and again and again to the point where you don't have to go back there. So you always find yourself, you always find what you're looking for. And sometimes it's staring at us in the face, and sometimes we're just not listening. So it's either two of those things. It's either we're not listening or we're not looking. But sometimes we have the ability to look and hear by closing our eyes. So we have the ability to really just receive exactly what we want to, and be able to receive at greater rates of speed and acceleration. So when you become more in a heightened state and you're in that state of acceleration, that doesn't mean that you forget who you are or you forget what you want to do with your life or existing or connecting. But it just means that you maintain, you are there, you're pristine, you're just crystal clear with everything. And you just want to open yourself up all the time. And that doesn't just mean healing, but it just means that you want the most out of your journey in alignment. And you don't want to wait. You can be even a little impatient if you want to be. but be eager. Like an eager seeker and a toxic seeker are two different things. So meaning that when you're eager to really feel the power of Source, when you're eager to learn, when you're eager to listen, and you're receptive, when you're in the state of reception. Now, if you're in a state of debilitation, you may need to just feel into that. But if you're able to receive here and now, just bounce into it. Just trust fall into it. And don't think that the universe will not pick you up or let you fall. Because the universe doesn't do that. The universe doesn't play tricks on us. The universe is just allowing us to see the truth for what it really is. And to see how we can become very intelligent with the way that we channel and project into align to everything that we want to become in that moment. So it's just having that realization that the only way that we change is that if we give our life to the change itself. So it's kind of like as if you lose all sense of having to feel a certain way. But you kind of know what you want to feel. You know what emotions you want to pick, and you kind of know what thoughts you want to pick, and you want to start your morning off on the right foot. So it's kind of like you just want everything to have symmetry. You want everything to have balance. You want everything to have a reason why it happens the way that it does. So we're going to do this meditation. I hope everyone is doing well as you're coming into the live feed, and feel free to let me know in the comment section if you want to book private sessions. I do have 1 hour special for $50, an hour and 30 minutes for $100, and $150 for 2 hours. So we're going to do this meditation. And as you are doing this meditation, we're going to use the Kundalini energy as a way of release. And with this healing guided meditation, you can allow the Black Panther to feel into the vibration of who you are. Accentuate, relax, and breathe in and out. And just feel into the preference and the expression that you want to be with your psychic intelligence. How do you want to bless others? How do you want to be a beacon of love? And how do you want to initiate the new state of consciousness? And when you allow yourself to be non-dual towards your oneness, it means that nothing can separate yourself from it, meaning that there isn't an inseparability, but you're definitely separate from what you don't want to be. But also you find that being a living, breathing vortex really helps you, because it shows you and demonstrates to you that you don't have to be lacking of anything, but it means that you are pure. You're aware of distortion, and you're aware of what does not make you feel good, of what does not make you feel aligned. And you see that every time that you see how you can use yourself as a gift, as an example, as a way of demonstration, then you can really love others in a deep, profound sense of longing, of love, of connection. And then it's as if you're not meditating, you're just doing something that is a no-brainer, part of your routine. You don't even think about it when you do it, but you just meditate upon the I Am Presence. You meditate upon your psychic autonomous knowledge. And you use that psychic intelligence as a way of emanating from the light that illumines you, meaning you're bringing balance, you're bringing understanding and love and wisdom. And it's the ability to see that meditation is a choice And it is also just a subtle reminder of what you can be. It's very subtle, it's very quick, it's very direct and to the point. It just kind of initiates that new paradigm and simultaneous timelines and experiences and aspects of ourselves that is able to use the psychic abilities as telepathy, to be able to report what it means to remotely view something. And sometimes another person's just wanting to know about their love life, and you're able to do that. You're able to read the energy. But we're all here for a prophetic reason. We're all here for a reason to be here and now, to be of service, to love one another, and to be able to give, be able to allow yourself to give, but also allow yourself to teach, allow yourself to demonstrate, allow yourself to emote properly and not be so reactive, but be proactive towards everything. So you just take it head on, and you don't see it as a tsunami, but you see it as a gateway. You don't see it as a plane crashing or destruction or calamity, but you see it as a beautiful waterfall. And sometimes it's not about how powerful you are, but it's just exuding the power of Source. And knowing that you're just channeling, and they're just allowing you to channel that into awareness in that moment. In that brief extension of that moment, you use this meditation as a way of living. And you're not living vicariously through your own eyes or someone else's eyes, but you're living through the eyes of Source, the eyes of God. And then you see, then apart from what's non-physical, you see that the physical changes. You start to develop a set of skills, a set of speech patterns, thought forms, DNA codes, and different ways to express the language of light. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to express the language of light. Rather, we are channeling a being, no matter what it is that you're doing. Rather, you're doing a meditation. But what it means is that you're using your gift as a way of love and demonstration and an activation beyond what is perceptible here and now. And you see, by this connection, you're able to access your Akashic record, even. It means that you get to explore self-exploration of the metaphysical. And then you remember who you were. And it's as if you become this beacon of light. You become this hand that extends out to the universe. And if you see in this moment that nobody, not a single person, can really understand what you're experiencing as a person who is healing and integrating, as a person who is learning. And you have to see yourself as a child, as that inner child, because you're not a finished product, you're never done. You're always learning the ropes, and then you gotta learn a new set of ropes. And ascending more and more up the ladder. But then you don't see it as something that is hard or something that is not fun or enjoyable, but it means that you see it as a way of connection, as a way of love for yourself, and as a way of teaching and becoming a guide here and now. So in this moment, you're just allowing yourself to become a guide, kind of like the higher self or your spirit guides. Using your energetic aura as a way of reflection, as a way of projection. But also using your signature as a way of using the ways of the Ascended Master, becoming the intuitive investigator, and seeing yourself as a very contemplated seeker of enlightenment. And you lastly just are this, no matter what. No matter what, you are enlightenment. You are God. You are the oracle of love and wisdom. You are creation. And you are the psychic intelligence that is helping people receive, let go, release, emulate, channel, and project their own extension of source energy. So everybody take one last deep breath. Exhale. And so it is. So that was the meditation, guys. I hope you really enjoyed the meditation. And I hope you really enjoy these lives as you come into them. And feel free to book private sessions. I do have a private session special for $50 for an hour and 30 minutes for $100, and $150 for 2 hours. But just, yes, I do have this on YouTube. I'll have it on YouTube, but I haven't posted it yet. So I do have a YouTube channel, White Wolf the Oracle, and Facebook White Wolf the Oracle. If you're wanting to contact me, email me, text me on TikTok if you want to book a private session. Tonight around 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing readings, sealings, activations. But just know that you are autonomous. You are the psychic intelligence. You are energy. And just become the gift that keeps on giving. And if you give your life to God, God will work it all out. Source will work it all out. And you'll become a channel for the divine. You'll become a person that's able to demonstrate, to be an example, to be a leader, and to be love. Always. And so it is. Thank you, guys.